And after draining his $2 million inheritance, Liebrecht says it wasn't enough.
The lawyer needs $55,000. You have a $55,000 perch, so they took my house.
12 days in jail is what Liebrecht says he got for not being able to pay his court-ordered alimony payment.
Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Manhood. Oh, Florida, ending lifetime alimony? What were you thinking? Women are going to be so upset. You're never going to be able to get women to vote for you guys anymore. Please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
In a move that sent shockwaves through the state, Governor Ron DeSantis finally caved to pressure and signed a measure that ruthlessly overhauls Florida's alimony laws. This decision, which comes after 3 previous vetoes and a decade of bitter battles.
Damn, dude. 3 vetoes and 10 years worth of battling just try to end this. Women have really fought hard.
Effectively eliminates what is known as permanent alimony. The measure has sent the members of the First Wives advocacy group into a frenzy consisting mostly of older women who rely on these alimony payments for their very livelihoods.
It's funny when it's a group of women that receive alimony that made a group to make laws to keep alimony going. Doesn't it seem like weird to some people? I don't know.
With this heartless approval, DeSantis has callously disregarded their pleas and condemned them to a future of upheaval and uncertainty.
When judges hear divorce cases,
not really, because it's not repealing the people that have permanent alimony now. I don't think it removes that now. It's just for the future.
in courthouses like this one, they have to make a decision. How much will one partner pay the other after the split, and for how long? In a small percentage of cases, judges choose to make those payments permanent. It's something one woman tells me helped her live a normal life, but another man says it brought him to the brink of suicide. After Christoph Liebrecht and his wife split, he said,
$10K a month. Most people don't even make half that. So imagine having to give that up to your spouse. Imagine if that's most of your income. Holy shit.
Says the judge's ruling was devastating.
What they want is $10,300 per month. Permanent alimony.
It's a cost Liebrecht says he had no way of paying. And after draining his $2 million inheritance, Liebrecht says it wasn't enough.
The lawyer needs $55,000. You have a $55,000 perch, so they took my house.
12 days in jail is what Liebrecht says he got for not being able to pay his court-ordered alimony payments. Now he lives in Maine, where he hopes lawyers won't come after him.
This whole process literally did bring me to the brink of suicide.
Senate Bill 1922 would not only make permanent alimony illegal, it would also cancel Liebrecht's payments retroactively.
Oh, it is retroactive. My mistake. That's wonderful. I didn't realize that it was retroactive.
But I also spoke with Jan Killelea, who says permanent alimony actually saved her after her divorce.
I was married 25 years and gave up a...
Of course it saved the women. You're getting free money from someone, like... the logic.
Career to raise a family in a traditional marriage.
Killelea started a website advocating for women like herself. She doesn't want the bill to take away the payments that helped her rebuild her life.
I know how difficult it is to reinvent yourself at 50 years old with a 25-year-old resume.
And
maybe not divorce your husband for whatever reason it is. If you're unhappy, maybe work it out and build together still instead of leaving him and starting all over and devastating him.
This bill has been through the Florida legislature before, and it was even vetoed by then Governor Rick Scott in the past.
So a bunch of women in Florida are pissed off at Ron DeSantis because he's taken away their alimony.
Tell you the truth, alimony does make sense. Back in the day when women weren't so into the job market as they are now, it somewhat made sense then. Somewhat. I'm not saying it completely made sense, but somewhat made sense for certain cases. It really doesn't make sense now. Women have the same opportunities or even more opportunities nowadays than they've ever had before to get a job or get a career. So for men to still keep having to pay permanent alimony to these women, what's the problem of them getting a job? Same thing when they say about men, men should get a job too if they're starting to get alimony.
1, do you think he's preparing for his own divorce? 2,
Possible.
I find it fascinating that all these women who have been voting for 100 years against their own self-interest are shocked when it finally affects them. Okay. Because you know what? Half of Florida are old people. Good luck there, buddy.
These women are losing their minds, and I don't care. The women I feel for are old women who have been divorced since the 1990s, and women who were forced by their husbands to be stay-at-home moms. Those are the women who deserve permanent alimony. Let's assume I marry a traditional woman. All I want her to do is be a traditional wife. Cook, clean, and take care of our kids. If I do something that warrants a divorce, then I must pay alimony. That's how it should be.
I agree. If the man fucks up and, makes it so that he ruins his own family, then yes, I can see why he has to pay alimony. But if the woman fucks up, there should be no reason for the man to be paying her out.
After reading the bill that was passed, this is what I learnt. If the marriage lasted over 20 years, under the new law, alimony is capped at 75% of that.
Is it still permanent?
So everyone worried about the retirees being thrown out into the cold, don't be, they're fine. A long-term marriage still amounts to decades of alimony. DeSantis just killed the hope of these women who plan to get married and then divorce after 5 years. He just cut off the life supply of a lot of gold diggers. I feel like DeSantis watched the video on why 90% of men are boycotting marriage. I think the world is going a good direction. What's left is for other states to start implementing this too.
I mean, like I said, we have the paternity test coming in Tennessee, still going through the Senate, but I don't know if it's actually stalled or not or what happened. It's hard to get information on some of these things.
For the single men here who don't know what permanent alimony is, it is the fee you pay to your ex-wife every month to maintain the lifestyle she had while you guys were still married. If you're a billionaire, you're going to lose millions of dollars. If you're a millionaire, you're going to lose thousands of dollars. And if you've got thousands of dollars in the safe, you're going to be paying hundreds of dollars. That's how it works. And the payment happens every month. Now imagine paying that bill for the rest of your life. What's worse is if the divorce wasn't even your fault.
There's a lot of men that have been paying this for life and they can't retire. Because once they retire, they can't make those alimony payments anymore. So it forces these men to work themselves to death. Is that what we really want in society? It's just men to work themselves to death? Probably women do, but...
She just woke up and felt she didn't love you anymore, and boom, she files for divorce. Since you earn more than her, we all know women don't marry down. You end up paying alimony. Another scenario is if she falsely accuses you of being violent toward her. You might be thinking, okay, I'll just pay the alimony for a few years till she remarries. Don't you get it? You're her fucking retirement plan.
Yeah,
these women
pretty
have
much.
everything planned, from the honeymoon to the divorce court, before they even wear their wedding dress. Most of them don't remarry, so they'll keep collecting alimony from you.
That's the bullshit, right? When they collect permanent alimony and it's like $10K, $15K a month, why would they ever remarry? Why would they ever do that? Because once they remarry, they lose that money. And it's no guarantee their new husband or their new fuckboy is going to be able to cover all that. So they rather just fuck around and just enjoy their life while they get $15,000, $20,000, $10,000 a month for doing nothing.
To me, permanent alimony just doesn't make any sense. In the past, alimony made perfect sense because women were not able to work.
I agree.
But today, women who choose not to work in marriage have made a decision. Even with kids and so on, they can work when kids are at school or growing up. Many of these women never worked because they chose not to, and the ex shall not pay for that. And even if alimony was a thing, why a lifetime? She is not giving him any...
That's the crazy part. Yeah. Why a lifetime? Even if you're married for only like a few years, maybe 10 years, you owe her for the rest of your life. How does that make sense? Like, what? So you're married to someone and you make a mistake for a few years, 2-3 years, and then now you have to divorce. You owe her for the rest of your life. How does that even make sense to anyone?
Anything back anymore. Why is he forced to pay her fat ass for just existing for a lifetime? It's pretty good what the governor of Florida is doing.
100%
Lifetime
agree.
alimony is kind of bullshit nowadays. I highly doubt that women who qualify for it have zero work history or education, or a serious disability preventing them from working.
Yeah, in California, I believe it's 10 plus years is permanent alimony. And anything under 10 years, it's half of the time you've been together. So you got separated at 9 years, you'll owe 4.5 months of alimony. If you've been together for over 10 years, you're locked into permanent, at least in California.
The few very old women who divorce and qualify can
Well, I wouldn't say you're locked in, but if your ex chose to pursue alimony, you're going to lose.
probably be sustained with some alimony, not lifetime, and social security. Lifetime alimony is a dinosaur from a social era that does not reflect modernity. You can't have it both ways. We either move towards modernity and amend the law as needed, or we move towards tradition and amend the law to make it so. Since the general trend is anti-marriage, then don't be shocked when we keep moving in that direction.
Passport
Alimony
bros
for
and
any amount of
mid-towels.
time is just an excuse for lazy people who don't want to work. If you have the freedom to leave a relationship at any point, it also means that you have the responsibility to take care of yourself when
Correct.
you do that. You can't have your cake and eat it. One person being used to a certain standard of living and wanting another person to maintain that standard of living doesn't make sense. Asking someone to keep providing for you financially post-separation is as weird as asking your ex to clean your house, cook your meals, and have sex with you.
I was gonna
because
say,
it
give me
used to be
sex
that
every
way.
so often.
That's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash